Hello, and welcome to the Libri Labra Book Club. We are coming to you from my sick house this month.
My Sick House.
Yeah,
it's the name of the next TV show.
We're doing a little bit better, but as you can hear, we're still kind of sick. So just bear with us if we have a little bit of brain fog or anything like that.
All of that.
So I'm joined today by my husband, aka John, aka BookTube Hubby.
All of that.
And also by with Book Club VIP member Tom. And this discussion, we're going to be talking about When Christmas Comes by Andrew Klavan. And I don't have a physical copy of that, unfortunately, but you can see the cover in the thumbnail for this video. But this was your pick.
Twas.
So you had a challenge. And I think that was that was part of the reason.
I actually had to choose a color theme. All three of my books had to have the same color on it. Easy, you might think. But when it has to be new releases within the past 3 months and trying to put a theme together to that's kind of Christmassy related was very difficult. It ended up being more thrillers than just Christmas. Mm-hmm. So can you stop that distraction, please?
Yes, I can. Absolutely.
Sorry.
You can keep talking.
Okay. So it's too late. It's broken.
So I know that you prefer not to read, too deeply into the summaries and the synopsis for the books because you kind of want to be able to just experience
I had no idea what I had chosen for 3 of the books.
You were just looking at the colors?
I really was just trying to match the challenges that I had. That was it. And then afterwards, I was like, ugh. So, but it ended up being I enjoyed the book. I'm not going to rate it now, but.
So really quick, we are going to jump into spoilers. We'll do our initial thoughts first. Also, if you ever want to join us in our live discussions on camera, you can do that by visiting patreon.com/Libri Labra. And there's a few other perks from becoming a patron, or you could just follow and, comment and kind of check things out. Yeah, just hang out. But you do get like priority responses on YouTube videos and a custom bookmark. And you get to be in a rotation where you select the books that we're reading, stuff like that. There's also a private Facebook chat that we have where we talk about media that we're consuming at the time. So that is available if you're ever interested. So initial thoughts, just very basic initial thoughts about the book after having read it.
After having read it. Okay. What?
Yes.
Initial thoughts after. Okay. To me, this kind of feels like Die Hard. Like it has as much to do with Christmas as Die Hard does.
That's hilarious.
So, I mean, again, I enjoyed it, but when Christmas comes, is just the time of year that we think about certain things.
For me, initial thoughts were I was listening to the audiobook. I wish I had also had something to read, but I feel like it didn't feel like I was consuming the story or like in the story. It just kind of felt like the story was being told to me, which makes sense. But also, I don't know if he was just doing a lot of telling and not enough showing while I was listening to the book. But it just didn't feel like I was in the story. It didn't feel like I was watching it unravel. It just felt like I was hearing something after the fact. And I didn't feel fully immersed in it. I
get that. I agree.
And I think I knew what the ending was going to be. Maybe not the entire ending, but I knew what was going to happen from the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know at what point, but I was just like,
territory.
Yeah. We're not. Okay. So those were my initial thoughts about it. How about you, Tom?
I think the quickest way I can say this is you're reading the description on Goodreads. I thought this book is likely not for me, and turns out I was right. So,
Oh man, I'm sorry. You had that just right off the bat.
I couldn't remember if you voted for this one or not. I thought you did.
I probably did, but
It was Christmas related, right?
yeah.
Is that why we moved?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was for December.
I got die-hearted into it. So I was thinking about Die Hard too. It's like, okay, this is Christmas in the sense that, yeah, it happens to occur in December.
Right. Right.
You know, and without going into details, yeah, kudos for the author to trying to fit it into the Christmas season. But, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway.
It's like Lethal Weapon now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so those are
Or
our thoughts on When Christmas Comes.
There
There was more Christmas in Hawkeye, I feel like. That felt way
They cared about Christmas in Hawkeye.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of, we should at least be there for Christmas.
And they're like counting down to Christmas. Every day it was like Christmas is coming, Christmas. I don't know. It felt like
We're digressing.
Sure.
So now we will jump into spoiler territory in regards to When Christmas Comes. I don't like right away when I started listening, I had said to you that I didn't understand why the hell they picked an English teacher to solve this mystery.
Yeah, I think she set it up for me to actually go down the wrong path mentally with this book too.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Because that's all I kept thinking about was and making fun of. But go ahead.
Because I was like, is he like some Robert Langdon? Or he's just like, he must specialize in something that they're like, because why aren't they getting like the cops in on it? Or
they already did that. Their justice system didn't work the way they expected. So, and they felt something was off. So
Right.
They wanted another perspective. Is that how we look at it?
I guess.
But apparently this character was supposed to have a unique ability to see things and how they happened. After having the information like put in front of him, he can like sort of, I guess, intuit what had happened.
Well, it was like more than that. Like, he wasn't just, it's not like he was an innocent person just kind of having this strong sense of intuition in certain situations. Wasn't he kind of like a Dexter? So like, I don't know.
The ability didn't seem all that special to me. Just like he sat down and thought about it. Oh, well, that's the answer. Oh, well, shit, anybody could have done that.
But is that true, or does it take a killer to find a killer?
Right. I guess that's the question. I mean, I think maybe that's what he wanted it to sound like.
Right.
But
Dean Koontz did that a lot better with his accent. I'll just say that.
Damn. Oh, okay.
And the reason why he's an English teacher, it sounds like he's a proxy for the author. It's like, hey, I want to show you I learned all this English literature. Here we're going to make this character an English professor.
yeah, the main character was just like really hard to buy into, and I didn't at any point like appreciate following him. Like, I didn't think he was the best person. He just wasn't like very likable, and not that the character has to be likable, but I still wasn't like invested in him at all. Like, I just
Isn't that what everybody likes right now? The anti-hero? Isn't that like the trope at the moment?
I don't know if I would say that's the trope at the moment, but I could still not like him.
Okay. Well, I'm saying like it's a popular thing.
I guess I wish there had been some more redeeming qualities about him, even if he was the anti-hero or villainous. Like, I don't.
You were supposed to get some of that through his thoughts.
Through his thoughts? His murderous thoughts? He was creepy to all the women. Like,
Yeah, he was pretty creepy.
and then like the majority of the time we're learning about him and who he is through these past therapist visits.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of like you're in his head and he's telling stories, but
The psychoanalyses that came out of this is probably the most intriguing thing to me, is the idea of using specific situations or telling a story that kind of encapsulates everything about your personality so that you're every part of the story. That was odd to me. I found that intriguing, but it just the I'm interested in the psychology behind it, but I didn't understand it.
Okay.
So there's a few things in there that I want to delve a little more into, but it's like I don't know enough about it to talk about it.
And so you were completely surprised by the ending?
No. I was more curious of how he was going to wrap it up than it was like, oh my God, that's what happened. Duh. You know, I figured he was innocent. There was more redeeming qualities to the guy who was actually in jail than the guy who the character we're supposed to like. Right? Is that what you're saying?
I think so.
Okay, makes sense.
And everyone found it so hard to believe that he did it, but also, you know, even when the story was like, oh, well, she must have pushed him to the brink, everybody was like, that doesn't add up either, because she seemed like such a great person. Everybody loved her.
But I mean, I can see where someone would go mad not knowing past information, and especially if you can
Enough
see
to kill somebody?
There's like like him not knowing about her past.
Right.
And then seeing a physical representation of that, them having some sort of emotional, you know, like she told the guy, get off me, get away from me. Are we talking about the same person?
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that not having answers to that situation would probably drive a jealous person insane. Absolutely. Violently. Like ragey. I get it.
I mean, all those things were believable. I just didn't think that was going to be the outcome. And I know that, like, the characters in the story didn't really feel like that added up either. And, like, as the story goes on,
I feel like I need to read it again, but I think I want a different narrator.
The narrator. I don't remember having feelings about the narrator.
But I'm wondering if that might change the feeling of the book itself.
I would say yes, it would. But
because I'm wondering if that has a lot of influence on why I wasn't enraptured by it. I wasn't like I like listening to books. This was just like it almost felt like a self-help book to me. Everything did not sink in. I had to what just happened?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that too. But it just, again, I'm not, like, it just felt like I was being told the facts and what happened versus I was discovering things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe he was actually going for the idea that it's just giving you piece by piece that's just these things that have happened that you're supposed to figure out before you get there. Or is that not how we're supposed to write thrillers?
I don't know. It says it's a mystery novel, which is just like a tiny bit different than a thriller, but really that's like the only thing that kept me hanging was like
I think that would be
me feeling like I knew what was going to happen and just hanging on long enough to find out if that was accurate or not.
Right. I just wanted to know what it was, like what actually happened at the end. I was just like, yeah, I got through all the information and I was like, well, I just, you know.
Mm-hmm. And this much work, I may as well see how it ends. Yeah.
I mean, I was just curious. It wasn't even like, again, I didn't have the fish hook. I just wanted to see. I was like, huh?
What I was hoping, well, for those who don't know, spoiler here.
We're in it.
Yeah, they faked the librarian's death, and now it turns out he's not guilty, and they can go off in the witness protection program, and hooray! What I was hoping for was that she actually was a KGB agent, and he had to kill her because he discovered that she was like a double agent. That's what I was hoping for.
Okay,
I knew that wasn't never going to happen.
There was a reason why she had to go.
Yeah, there was a reason. Yeah,
right. That would have been better than the outcome, honestly, in my opinion. Yeah. But I just think that I do like the fact that they led you to believe that she would like that there was a, you know, because of the Witsec thing that she was a different person. But then that was just the misleading part. That was just that was the red herring that was supposed to be in there. Is just to lead you to it's just her past was crazy.
I think I don't know exactly when it was that I was like, I know what happened here. I think it might have been when they were talking about how Jennifer didn't exist, that she wasn't a real person, that had like been the third name she had.
Right. That's what I was talking about.
And at that point, I was like, if he loves her that much, he would totally go to jail for her to protect her. And if everyone thinks she's dead, no one's going to keep looking for her, so then she'll finally be safe.
I mean, the one big thing is if you don't have a body.
Right.
Well, that was another thing. The whole town full of rangers that covered up, everything for him.
Mm-hmm.
That type of stuff. That was I like it. Yeah, I got all that. I was like, yeah. As soon as like family of rangers, and then they come up and the whole town was actually meant for for them to actually be a town full of people who were built in the military. Right. I was like, oh yeah, and they're just gonna cover for whatever's going on. They're just so it's just I don't know. It's just
I don't know. To me, yeah, that, and to me the trope that let's have the two main characters, Cameron Winter and Travis Blake, who are ostensibly two different people, but they're actually the same person in the sense that they have to be hot, they have to be rich, and they have to be broken in some way.
I didn't realize we Tyler Durden's this thing.
Yeah, well, there you have it. See, but and what the book immediately started me off on the wrong foot was when we had the first psychoanalysis session, and the psychologist is like, "Oh, look how muscly he is." It's, oh, Jesus Christ! We're starting this right off the bat, aren't we? So
I must have let those details just kind of. I was already so not caring about the main character that however they described it didn't matter.
Right.
But I think I'm unclear about one thing. So he went to trial. They found him guilty, but he still got out.
Yeah.
How did that work?
I don't remember how that worked.
Well, they put him into the witness protection program after.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the Rangers? The Rangers did what they did.
Travis, yeah.
They pulled strings and made sure he didn't come up on anybody's radar.
Yeah. They did it to make sure that anybody who was looking into it would say, "Oh yeah, she's actually dead," and they're not going to look for her anymore.
Case closed. They covered it up. Boom, and then.
So, but if anybody ever actually went to look for him in whatever prison he was supposed to be doing his time at, they wouldn't find him. So, but who would do that? Because they really are interested in the librarian, not him. So.
I think the exchange where Winter and Travis had, where he was like, what are you doing? I'm a murderer. I belong behind bars. And he was like, no, you did murder, but you're not a murderer.
My testosterone is more higher than yours. What are you saying?
There were a few ridiculous scenes.
Yes.
But it's the way he told the story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the twist for me, though. That he did kill that other guy. Whoever was trying to track her down. That I wasn't expecting.
Oh, the WITSEC agent.
Yeah.
The witness protection program. But apparently gets off scot-free for that too. So good for him.
Yeah, that's something. I don't believe that at all. Because government people, they have.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. Hey, hope you're doing fine. I'm not sure I understand your text, but hello, thanks for joining us. Well, what else did you think? What did you think about his relationship with Victoria? And what was the point of mentioning that he could never remember her husband's name?
Victoria was the lawyer, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, as far as I know.
And you're saying that Winter could never remember her husband's name?
Yes.
I don't remember that detail either.
He was forever calling her husband the wrong name.
Yeah, because they had a thing in the past.
Oh, okay. I do remember that happening a couple times. Okay.
Yeah, they had a thing in the past, and I guess he actually grew up and then grew out of that. We're gonna do it phase, and then.
Oh.
But it seems so disrespectful.
He always disrespected her husband after that.
Yeah, like
right.
Wouldn't ever.
He never cared. He never cared about it.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. That was just that.
I didn't realize that relationship existed. That kind of makes the trope a little worse for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was cringy in parts.
I guess you can make it work like that. Okay.
Yeah. That's the deck you're playing. I mean, but so what about Charlotte?
I hated hearing about Charlotte. I didn't. Not that Charlotte did anything wrong. I just hated the way he talked about her. I hated just there was a lot of that, and I remember asking John. I was like, "Why is he so cringy? Like, why is he so?"
I mean, this sounds like a lot like you. Like the people who get obsessive about things, and that's kind of how like
like me?
No, the show.
Okay,
the show.
all right, just checking.
Don't
that's what I thought you meant. I got
that
confused for a
chick's
second.
problem that we had on air. Okay, don't do that.
Just wanted to be sure.
Yeah. No, it's about you, not you.
Not you personally, but
you. Who's on first bid on the news? Jesus Christ. Okay.
Anyway.
It was just they showed the obsessive compulsiveness, and nobody to say, hey, that's not something you should be thinking about. That's not, you shouldn't be thinking about that person that way. They don't have the same feelings. Slow down. That's just nobody ever puts them in check. So that they get into their mind, they actually go into a hole in their head thinking completely like ruminating the wrong direction about something, and nobody's there to say, hey, dude, relax.
Because he did, even after like their kiss or whatever, like years later, he showed up at her house. He showed up at her house as she was having dinner with her
actual, like,
was it her fiance? I don't remember.
Her troll of a boyfriend is what he called him.
Michael.
Yeah, her father figure. I thought I took it as, but anyway.
There was a lot of dysfunction right there. We saw a bunch of red flags, a lot there, but the fact that he took a look of pity and all to as a not now but later, and he even took that wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's actually one of the things I liked about the book, in the sense that he's showing Cameron, oh, I have this crush on Charlotte, but it's clear Charlotte does not feel the same about him, and he's missing all of the signs, leading up to it. But that's the way things get. And you finally have to, he has to have that moment where he meets her as a older girl, and she has his boyfriend, and how different she is, and it wasn't the picture of the person he had built up in his, being away from her. He obviously didn't know her, but this is the mental picture he's created of her. And when it didn't conform to reality, well, we have to confront that now, which is one where I guess the term I was not familiar with it, before reading this book, psychomachia, where he talks about, each of your parts of your personality is invested into the story in a different character, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, that's what I was bringing up earlier. I didn't know the term. Thank you.
Yeah, psychomachia. That's the thing I remember from the book, but yeah.
Sorry, give me 1 second. It looks like Josh has like texted and called like multiple times.
Let me find out what's going on.
Okay.
All right. So
the book was kind of short. It was shorter than I would have expected, which wasn't necessarily
That's longer than I wanted, but
behind-
I'm kidding. Sorry, I had to say you see the slow curve, you got to take a swing. But I mean, it's not a bad book. Like I said, it's just not for me.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And Enjoy is like a 4.09 rating on Goodreads, so somebody likes it.
Yeah. I know that, like, in the past when we've read other kind of mystery thrillers, they seem to be less about the character development, which I think I prefer, and just about like the plot points.
Oh yeah.
So I think it kind of follows that a bit.
That's why rereadability of thrillers is next to zero, because now you know what happened, and that's really the whole point. The reason why you're reading, like in this case, we want to find out what happens. What was the actual situation. When you do, it's like, oh well, that's good. I mean, the only way I could think of is rereading the book is keeping that psychomachy in mind. It's like, okay, what part of this character is he? Or what part of this is this character representative of him? So
I think, like, I thought it was interesting that how he found her was based on her story that she had.
Right.
Because they definitely didn't expect him to show up to the tower or whatever.
Yes.
I know they were also really worried about him ratting them out. Maybe that's why they needed to create a character that just kind of had gray morals, so that he could be like, I won't tell anyone. Oh, that's fine. Go ahead. Go do your thing.
Well, he doesn't really have a horse in the race in that case, So, I mean, really, she actually gets to have a life now again, because she won't be, followed by anybody anymore. So.
Right. One thing that struck me was how they were talking about, I don't remember the girl's name now, but the daughter, how they were saying that, like, she didn't seem like someone who had lost both parents.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I like that. She seemed happy.
That was a cute little hint that I didn't pick up on. Okay.
But, like, in a situation like why would they think that would fly? Like, of course the kid's gonna act that way. Like, the kid basically messed up everything.
Oh, okay. It makes sense.
So, but that's like a lot. Like, the fact that it's just a story, but it doesn't surprise me that people would think that way, to be like, well, I'll go to jail and we'll pretend you're dead, and then we'll just take the kid and we'll disappear.
So that's also a mirror of what happened essentially with Albert, Charlotte's father. Because remember, turns out he betrayed Charlotte's mother, and that's how he got the jewels, and he came to America.
I didn't get all the pieces for that one.
Yeah.
There was some dirty stuff in that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah, he turned in Charlotte's, was it Alma? I think it was. I don't remember the mother's name. But it turns out that he was in a KGB, or no, what the hell do they call it? Stasi? Informant. And he informed on the mother, and because he knew she had jewels and he could sell those, and then that would give him the funds to go to the West. So
dirty.
Yes. Yeah, when reading that, there's a really good movie called The Lives of Others. If you want to see what that looks like the way it was in East Germany, people informing on other people and such. And it's like, well, how do you as a society, come back from that? With all the mistrust and such. It's really well done. It's a German film, and there's English subtitles, but highly recommend it if that's of interest. So,
despite the fact that I didn't love this as a book, I think it would make a great movie.
That I can agree with.
Yeah,
that I would agree with.
Like, it would definitely be like
That would
I'd
actually
probably
really
way
be
more invested in it.
absolutely.
Having been a movie.
Plus, I think it would benefit from the visual cues.
Indeed. Especially with the little girl interaction and man, looking at it as a director, those would be fun scenes.
Is there a character that you favored?
I don't ever think of these things when I'm reading the book. I just take it in and be like, "Oh, that was cool."
But who cares? I'm asking you now.
But I'm
so
saying,
think
like, I
about
don't
it
take
now.
Okay, give me a minute. All right? You guys talk about it.
You're not doing it right. The other thing that it got a little bit preposterous to me was how they would always describe Jennifer as that being this still presence. Yeah, we got that. You said that like 2 or 3 times already. We don't need the.
Oh, that they have to explain what she's like to every different.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, like 3 or 4 times. Yeah,
right.
We as a reader know that. Yeah, we've seen it.
No, there was a reason why that was put in there so many times. I'm sure.
Well,
but
yeah, it's like once was enough. Thank you. I got it.
So I don't know.
But that's something in a movie you could actually see. You don't have to devote dialogue to it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Adam the guy that was in jail? No, Adam Winter. That was the
Cameron Winter is
Cameron Winter. Who was in jail?
Travis Blake.
Travis. Okay. Why do I keep thinking Adam? Travis. I don't know. I can't say I can relate to any of the characters.
But like, didn't we sit down and talk to his sister? Like the Winter was talking to his sister, right? Travis's sister.
Okay.
Because she was like, it seemed like she was convinced that he did it. At first.
It did seem that way. But was she also married to a ranger?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Because it seems like all of them were just insisting that he did it. I mean, it's obvious. He confessed. Just let it go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's maybe that was a setup for Cameron to like really ask her. It's like, do you really think he did it? Do you think he's a murderer? And she said no. So,
but she was still like, she did say no, but at some point she was like, but it adds up. And she was like, here's why I think he did do it.
Well, I mean, this whole thing is about a moral conundrum that really only exists in specific circumstances.
I don't know. I would like to live my life in such a way that if I was accused of murder, everybody I know would be like, she didn't do it.
Right.
Like, they would just know that I didn't do it.
But that's how you get away with it.
I'm not trying to get away with it.
That's what they always say about the serial killers. Oh, that was a quiet type. And never expected him to do it.
I got shit to worry about now. Yeah, no.
No, there were no characters that you favored.
No, not if they're murderers.
I think to me the only really redeeming character, the only character I had a chance to liking was a very minor character.
Victoria? Victoria?
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Mia, actually.
Oh.
She's the one who actually, hey, you're going to be spending Christmas alone. Why don't you come spend Christmas with our family? Like, okay, that's cool. And she's basically a plot vehicle to get him into so he can meet Charlotte and be on a close-up basis with her. So,
God damn it, Mia.
So, yeah, and like you said, you're meant to like Albert when we first meet him, because we're seeing him through Charlotte's eyes, and then when it turns out that he did all this nasty stuff,
I do enjoy the scene at the cemetery when you're apparently supposed to see her gears turning and her putting things together in her mind. Yes. He's like, "Is this a good time to kiss her?"
Well, yeah, Well, that's what I say. Which was that was good in the sense that because that's the way young boys think. It's like they only have this one thing in mind.
The scene, this perspective of that scene,
the
composition of that scene was great.
Yeah, but then again, where was his turn of mind then? If he has this ability, it's like, well, this mind clearly wasn't on the subject. So
that hasn't. There's a lot of things that haven't developed yet, apparently.
Yes, one thing that has. So yes.
Oh Jesus!
What his crush on Charlotte? What were you thinking about?
Oh shit!
So it does have its redeeming qualities. It's just like I said. Overall, like I said, I knew it wasn't for me, and sure enough, that turned out to be true. Yeah. So again, not a bad book. When you were away, I was telling Desiree that it enjoys a 4.09 rating on Goodreads, so people like it, obviously, but it's just not for me. So
is it safe to say you would not read another book by the author?
Only under duress. No, I'm kidding. No, only if it was a book club book. I would not seek this author out. So
it'll have to sneak in there, and he'll have to surprise you somehow.
Yes. Wait, is this Andrew Klavan? No, this is bullshit. No, no. And again, there are books that I thought, oh, this is not for me, but it turns out I really, really liked the book. Margot Motan's memoir, Plate Tectonics, which was a comic memoir. I thought I was all salty about having to read it because it was part of one of the comic book group I belonged to was part of their challenge, and this is amazing. This is one of the best books I've ever read. So, I don't want to come off as this curmudgeon. Oh, I hate that. No, but because I am pleasantly surprised every so often. That was one of them.
This is a comic?
Yeah, Plate Tectonics, it's called. But it's I ended up following her on Twitter and such, and Facebook because I just love her drawings and such. So.
Well, I don't know if you have anything else to add to the book. It was kind of short, so like once you kind of
Andrew kind of laid it all out for us.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's good. I don't need to add anything else.
Well, then do you want to do final thoughts and
we
ratings?
Can do that.
And then we'll talk about this month's
What's next?
book. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I did give it 4 stars just because I do enjoy these types of books. I didn't.
Not this one.
I mean, I really do believe it was. I can blame the narrator for kind of.
Okay.
It was kind of a dull.
Mm-hmm.
Draw
presentation.
It wasn't it wasn't something that was like it didn't hook me. It didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I was just following the boat. I wasn't figuring. It wasn't a fishing pole.
Maybe
is this a bad metaphor? I don't know.
Maybe that was part of it, that it just didn't feel like the main character had enough personality. Like, yeah, there was things about him, like, okay, we know he has like this intuition about crime and he's creepy and he's hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to therapy, but outside of that, like his personality, I don't feel like we really got.
Do you ever get a sociopath's personality? Like, is that possible? Do we know exactly how or what they act like all the time? Like, I thought that was all like...
No, but like he had people in his life that kept in touch with him that like cared about him.
Victoria?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if there's other characters who like and appreciate them, then we should also be able to see why they like and appreciate him.
Okay, that is an accurate assumption to make, yes.
And I don't feel like I got enough of that, but... So you said you were going to give it a 4. Are you still giving it a 4?
I gave it a 4. It was just it was a toss up, and so I gave it the benefit of the doubt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I wish I could have been a little bit more immersed and a little bit more connected.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was still intrigued enough to keep listening, to keep going, and to find out, what really happens at the end. And so I ended up giving it 3 stars. I don't know if I would read more from this author, but I kind of don't read mystery in general.
Mm-hmm.
I probably lean more towards thriller, suspense, or horror, but mystery is not really where I hang out. But
I'm sorry, I just wanted to get this before I forget it. But the only reason why I gave him the 4th star instead of the 3 is that it actually worked as a mystery. The only reason why I finished it is because I wanted to find out what the hell it was. Like, that's the part that actually kept me to read it. It's like, it didn't actually. I wasn't like trudging through it, going, "Oh, when is this going to be over?" So, no. But again, when I found out everything, and we can go back and look at it, it gets the 4th star.
Okay, you don't
I just wanted to put that out there.
You don't have to justify why you gave it 4 stars. You enjoyed it. It's perfectly fine.
Right.
I enjoyed it too. I just enjoyed it as a 3-star. So those are my final thoughts about it.
I'm sorry.
I think I would give it a 2.5, rounded down to a 2. Because only in the sense that
I even it out then.
only in the sense that it was something that's like, yes, I was like, okay, I want to finish this, and it wasn't like, the only animus for me, like you said, was just find out what happened. Once I was on, hooray, and then I don't have to think about this again. And well, I hate to bring this up, but if you look at my ratings, you'll see, oh well, that and the Hating Game have 2 stars, but there's 2 different experiences of the book, because I do not feel the same animus toward When Christmas Comes that I do toward the Hating Game. So if Goodreads allowed half stars, the Hating Game would get 1.5. The only reason why it doesn't get 1 is because I actually finished it. But this one gets 2.5, but it's rounded down to 2. So. Okay. And again, that is not saying that the book is bad. It's just that it's not for me.
His justification was way better.
What?
I said your justification was way better.
Oh.
Funny.
I was going to say, tell him you watched the Hating Game movie and it was good.
Hey, if you like it, go for it. Hey.
It was an alright movie.
I'm not going to watch it. Hey, put it on repeat for all I care.
Okay, so you gave it a 2.5 rounded down. I gave it 3 stars. You gave it 4 stars.
Yes.
So this month,
next?
what's next? This month, we are going to be reading Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. In honor of Anne Rice, who passed away recently. I read this, I want to say like in 2001 probably. And I remember really enjoying it then, but I've always wanted to revisit it. I think I have more of an appreciation for writing and stuff like that. So I think, I don't know, I think it's just a good book to revisit. I think you read it too, right? A while ago?
Long time ago.
But you read it with your eyes, you probably didn't.
Yeah, no, nothing sat with me. I had to watch the movie. But that was also when I was a child. And also,
wait, what? I thought I made you read that when we met.
Did I?
I thought. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, the only thing I ever remember about that book is it being a brick. So I never would really, I was always like daunted by it. Like, is that the right word?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. No. Daunted by it. Yeah, you were.
I mean, it was whatever. It was intimidating. Mm-hmm. So, but seeing it in that shape and that size, that doesn't look so bad.
Oh, well, you're bigger now.
Is that what it is? I grew up.
I don't know. The Interview with the Vampire is something like I watched the movie first and then I went back and read the book, I think. But I think it'll be fun because Tom hasn't read it.
That's true. I've not seen the movie either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Remember what I said about books not being for me? This would be one of them. But I don't think it's to be that the extent of what we just read.
I think it may surprise you. Maybe.
We're hoping.
Yeah.
You're crossing your fingers right now.
I am crossing my fingers right now. So, but again, thank you for joining us. As a reminder, if you want to join us on camera during the discussions, you can do that by signing up to become a book club VIP member. And you can do that at patreon.com/Libri Labra. And there's a bunch of other perks. So just go over, check them out. And we hope to see you next month when we read Interview with the Vampire. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye.
Bye.